Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, it's Friday. Friday's the day of the week we turn to the BonBon buddies over on Patreon and say, hey guys, vote us in a map. And they do a really good job. If you want to help them out, you know what to do. Head on over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/BonBonB, and just for $1 a month, you get the magnificence of a free vote. Well, it's $1 a month vote. Plus, you get your name in the credits at the end of the show. It's a minor ask, but if 1 million of you do it, I will employ people to do this show for me. Today's map is a creator we've done twice in the past, and they're definitely on the up. So definitely be excited for their future. Be excited for BonBonBingo because the link is in the description, and you know you're going to be a winner if you play. And if you don't want to play, you can still be a winner if you can. Remember the daily reminder. That's right. Remembering the daily reminder really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people, and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Acacia Farmlands by Rossminajo. Rossminajo is back. Do you know what? This is a strong one. There's a lots of good stuff to talk about with today's map. There's your start square. That looks very pleasing and very enticing. Like it a lot. Terrain heights, lots of buildable space, and a good chunk of hills. We will talk about the hills. Resources are, they're okay. They're a bit I was going to say splurgy. Okay. And if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, your fishing map looks a little bit like that. Apparently off centre. What have I done there? Never mind. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will be needing mass transit for this one. As nicely written description as you would expect from Rossminajo. They cover everything that you're going to want to know. Recommendations for the 81 tiles, which, hey, listen, you don't need it, but why not? Hey, good map for it. And then we have a one-click collection with a few things in it, including the Abandoned House No Trees by yours truly. And if we scroll down a little bit further, a little bit further still, we'll find it. We'll find it. It's down here somewhere, I promise you. Is the other, but there you go, Ruined Farmhouse No Trees by D. Brooks Jr. So do we need both? Don't know. Anyway, selection of things to subscribe to there anyway. We'll be using a Laviante 2.0 theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT. Down the ground level. So anyway, there's a lot of good things to talk about. My distraction on today's map is, look at the hills. I just can't really tweak my head around the shapes of them. I can live with some of that. The one on the left there, I can very happily live with that. The ones on the right are a bit, I don't know. I don't have a word for it. I'm sure there is a good word for it. Anyway, our first intersection here. And again, there are plenty of good standards today, including the intersection marking tool, which has been done very nicely. We're using network extensions 2 today. That is listed. Of course, we have covered that one in the tutorial a couple of weeks ago. Do check my tutorials. It's an idea to move away from network extensions 2 now. They could be slightly better aligned to the intersection marking tool there. But good standards, I would say, today with the marking tool. But yes, this was obviously in production and produced long before I made my tutorial, so it's not like Ross has been completely ignoring me. It's just one of those things that it's still, do you know what? It's still okay to use. It's a heads up for it may become not okay to use at any point, further instantly. And would you rather, if you know your house is likely to flood, would it be a good idea to move before the flood? Or know that it was going to look at this intersection. Look at the beautiful sweeping shape of that intersection. Do you know what? We've got some strong intersections on today's map. We have some strong, imaginative, hand-drawn, hand-created, I would suggest probably by Ross themselves, intersections on today's map. We'll have a look at a couple of them in the second half of this show. But yes, if your house is likely to flood, is it a good idea to move before it floods? It may never flood. It may never flood. But if it floods, you're in a lot of trouble. And so it's one of those that's kind of the Network Extensions 2 situation at the moment. At any point, you might lose your city. Not because of Network Extensions 2. The intersections we'll be looking at are down that way. We're actually going to ignore them for now. We'll do them in the second half of the show. In fact, we're kind of ignoring most of the networking in today's show. I'm showing you the quality of the highways. You'll be getting to the start square in a moment. When we do that, we'll skip onto the rail. And we're kind of ignoring most of the networking because you can kind of see the map and the shape of it without having to follow it down at ground level today. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But yes, so that's the situation with Network Extensions 2. It's not broken. It's unlikely ever to be broken. But at some point, one of the new mods, which you might subscribe to, might actually break the mod and break your city. So there's the situation that we're in. Here's your start square intersection. I like this. I like this. In an elongated oval about. We've got some interesting shapes going on there. There's where you're going to be building into. I think that's a winner. Credit where it's due, of course. And again, good strong intersection, interesting shapes, interesting marking tool usage there as well. I would say interesting and good. And then we have the rail running along here as well, which is very neatly done. Railway replacer mod in operation. Oh, I need to... I don't know. Let me know in the comments about these steam trains. Should I deactivate these and go back to some generic electric trains, or do we like them running across the map, and shall I leave them in place? Personally, I'm inclined to switch them off, but yes, that's from the Hell review that we did Saturday last week. If you've not seen that review Saturday last week, look up Hell. You will be blown away. Absolute quality and art at the same time. Well worth checking out. You may not want to build on it, but you do want to see it if you've not actually been there yet. Anyway, yes, so the rail, we have rail running across the map as well. Here's another train. This isn't a steam train, there's an electric train. Or is it a diesel? I'm not sure. But anyway, modern style train there anyway. Anyway, the rail runs off the top of the map over here. This map, plenty of buildable space. We've got interesting shapes of farmland, interesting and believable and usable shapes of farmland as well. It's the shape of the verticality that throws me. Also, actually, the rail line here, we go elevated to go through a tunnel to go onto the bridge off and out. I think there were other ways of addressing that one, but we won't go into that today. I mean, this is on the edge of the map. Yes, 81 tile mod means technically we would be seeing this one, so I can, reasonably say what, and through the tunnel there. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense, but it's not. This is not what the map's about. The map's about what's in the middle today.
Are you confused with the difference between a mod and an asset? And what's the deal between a theme and a LUT? Then you need BonBonB's Beginner's Guide to Mods, Assets, Themes, and LUTs. Click the information button now.
Now, what's in the middle of today's show? The intermission. I'm sorry, I didn't warn you that was coming. Shipping routes. We have some very slick shipping triangles on Acacia Farmlands by Rossminajo. They've watched enough of the show to know that you don't score extra points, but you don't lose any. And if you do it, it makes you look kind of professional. Doesn't matter whether you're professional or not, it makes you look it, and hey, it's all in the deception. If I can do it, you can do it. We can all deceive the world into thinking we are all A-star creators. Anyway, no, this is seriously good though. Go a bit close to the edge there, but it does give us access to the bay there, which is good. Water flow is a little bit light. Up here doesn't matter so much. Here's your start square area. This is where we actually get a bit of depth of water and a little bit of motion. But it looks a little bit light and a little bit shallow. So there's one just to consider. You'll be fine. It will be workable. But you'll want to branch out from this as you're pumping and drawing area as soon as is practical. Okay, so the map as a whole, we've got some, just it looks really good. The farmlands area, I'm loving the shapes. I'm loving the shapes of the fields. The old thing that I say about pretending you're buying the field and then using the fields to shape the city so that it breaks your way a little bit from the grid. It'll still be gritty, but it won't be a complete just straight line grid, and it's going to be fun. Intersections is the first of our fun intersections. This one I like. I shared this one on the promo. Do check out the promos. They all gives you a good idea. Loving, again, the intersection working tool and marking tool on this section is really cool. And the old double roundabout at the end there. I like everything about this one. You go, well, hang on, why? And well, actually, yeah, because look, there's plenty of space there to build into. That one makes all of the sense to me, and even some space over the other side there as well. The next intersection, I find it a little bit messy and a little bit confusing. Yes, there's plenty of space to build down here as well, but the shape of this one is a little bit off for me, a little bit confusing. Plenty of space, look, plenty of space. You can make sense of having a big intersection here, but this one just feels a bit weird. In fact, there's even a stray road that I would lose completely. We come down here. This section here. Now look, that bit there, that loop loops back onto here, and it's all a one way. I feel it's a bit of an overkill. I understand maybe cutting down the traffic a little bit, but that then loops up onto the bridge up there. Here's what I'm going to do, a quick fix here. This isn't polished, so I haven't got time to do a polished fix, but I'm going to do a quick fix to show you how roughly I would have it. I will polish it a little bit. I'll try and get rid of some of the jinky jankies, I feel, because that's... yeah, I'll do. And then have this as a national road here, so you get traffic going both ways. Single lane on the split traffics. Hang on, it's a bit clunky. Let me declunkify this a bit. That can go down there. That can go up there. Do we need a double lane road there? No. How about something like that? That kind of works, but we've got a second road over there. We don't even need that to connect over to here. So if we were to do something like that, that would make a whole bunch more sense, wouldn't it? I think, maybe. And that could be single lane there. But even then, do we really need this road going? Hang on, I'm just going to lose that all completely. We don't need that. We're going to connect that straight from here. So we've already taken out a whole chunk of that loop, and that does the same job. You have a bit of right-hand turning road going over to the bridge, but if you're playing right-hand drive, then it's all going to be turning rights anyway. I'm okay with that. I think that works, and it just looks a little bit less messy. And I'm sure there's more fine-tuning that could be done. Okay, hills. I mean, I can see that they're hand-drawn, and I applaud the creativity and the shape, the actual shape of the hills, where they are and how they're laid out. I like. But they are, just look at this. This is just a mass of granite, which from a distance, if you're doing a skyline and you want a nice background, that is not going to work. It's just, it's overplay. It's overplay. It's not, for hand drawn, it's not bad at all. And again, the shape of it as a top down looks amazing, but from the ground up, it's clunky. This is a little bit clunky because we skipped the end of the drive-through. This is a little bit along the highway past the start square just after we skipped onto the rail. So yeah, a little pillar problem there. Got a nice castle up here. Ooh, it's a nice castle. I like this. Got one good standards throughout on here. One minor question mark, and that is this wall down here on the right-hand side. Why is it bowing in like that? Why would the builders have done that? I don't really understand. I mean, it's an ergonomic design. Maybe if we pop something there, like a rock, or maybe move the cliff face in a little bit to make it have to be forced around. But I don't see why the engineers would have built it like that. There's probably a very good reason. Let me know in the comments, as always. Down here, the dirt track goes to a slightly clunky path that is lifted slightly. I'm liking the crack there, though. It's probably cracked because the path is lifted. Let's use move it to drop that down a couple. Let's move it. There we go. To drop it down a couple of clunks. There we go. It's still a little bit clunky, but again, that is the quick fix, and it's just a tiny little fix. That will do. and it comes down to a little fishing area. Well, I quite like this. I'm a big fan of this sort of thing. Something similar on Bonbon Island, so yeah, good work. This I don't mind. The shape of the hills I don't mind, but I'd like to see that style of tree running along into the hills there. Because at the moment we've got a hedge running there. The hedge is holding what out or holding what in. It doesn't make much sense to me. So I would rather have had some trees running into the hills rather than the hedges into the hills. I think that would make a bit more sense to me. And then this river, this is again, we've got some good strong rivers today. This is nice until we get into the hills. I'm going to find something positive in a minute about getting into the hills. The hills here are, I mean, what sort of valley is this? It's because the hills are overplayed. The spawn point is okay. It's nicely detailed, but I don't really buy into it. That said, we can do better, and Ross has done better around the corner. This river here seems to be lacking a little bit of water in the lower end here. I think it had water earlier, so maybe it's just a little bit of stop-start water in the lower areas, but it still works, so I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I can get by with that. Then the river looks amazing. Again, we've got great tree detailing, good tree work across the map here, and good tree detailing up the side here, good rock work in the rivers. All of this looks great. All of this looks great. And when we get to the top of this river and we get to the spawn point, it looks great. This is what I'm talking about. Little lake pond there, and then we've got swampy area going on here. We've got a little trickle coming over here. You can just about see the water still coming over the edge. Little lake area there. And then swampy areas there, running down where it's run through the granites. Yeah, we've got rocking and holing today. Do you know what? That is way better than the one on the other side. Just goes to show that Ross has got the skills. They've also got the essential lighthouse on the lighthouse island. That's a good shaped island. I like that. Credit there. Yeah, it's not mind-blowing, but I like it, and liking it is all you need to do. And then, because we have got everybody's favourite factory. There's a couple of them dotted around, but I know those bingo players will need me to be singing that. Back down to the start square, and today we have got the asset of the day from Smilies. It's the commercial corner, and this is a true American style. The old fire exit there is a real nod towards New York. But that's not today's factoid. Factoids because factoids. Acacia, because we're Acacia Farmlands, is a type of shrub or deciduous tree that belongs to the pea family. That reminds me, I need to go to the toilet. There are over 800 species of acacia that can be found in Australia and in the tropical and subtropical areas of America, Asia, Africa, and Europe. So basically everywhere apart from Antarctica, yeah? Acacia grows well on well-drained soil and in dry, sunny habitats. As opposed to me, I like it damp and cold and miserable and grey and drizzly. Anyway, commercial corner by Smilies. This is very nice indeed. I mean, it's Smilies. It's gonna be good quality, and another one for your collection. Right, okay, I suppose we should get back to the map to give this thing some ratings, do you think? I think so. Yeah, I didn't say. Rossminajo, yeah, we've done them twice in the past. Episodes 1133 and 1285, where they got 9 and then 11 stars. I'll save that one. That should have been the factoid. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, I like it. I like it. It's a strong map. The only thing for me is the distraction of those hills. If those hills were more subtle, or the mountains were, I don't know, more texture, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but they really distract for me from what is a very strong map. So I can't give it the 4th star, but the rest of the map I really like, so let's go for a high 3. Detailing, we have got some very strong standards. There's not much holding it back. I think the tree work on today's map is exemplary, so let's go for a low 4. There are some grumbles, clearly. Gameplay potential, pretty good, you know, apart from the distraction, but I'm going to turn my back on the hills and mountains today. I'm going to give this a high-ish 4. Yeah. Acacia Farmlands by Rossminajo. This is a creator on the up. I can't turn my back completely on those mountains, so I can't give a seal of approval because I just can't. I can't. Man, what have you done? But do you know what? That is really close. That is really close. It's just slightly more subtlety in the hills. You get in there. You get in there. Well, you're in the ballpark. So that kind of area anyway. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the word of the day in the comments. Score yourself some population points just for fun. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the Water Map series. Have a great day, and I'll see you very, very soon.